We're here at the February NEC show, 2022. We went back in time there, and we caught up with Martin Dorey, campervan owner, author and environmentalist. Martin, good to see you.
How are you doing? It's nice to see you too.
Really well, really well. So book sales, I hear, for you are going exceptionally well. We certainly see them flying off the shelves in our shop. And you've got some new books coming up. But tell us, what's happening? What's in Martin Dorey's world these days?
Right, okay. Well, first of all, I mean, book sales have been really great. I think over the last 2 years, people haven't been able to go abroad and they haven't been able to travel. And actually, as we know, motorhome travel has just... it's gone ballistic, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The market is really buoyant, or whatever, for want of a better word. And so people have been wanting to go on adventures with their vans, go up to Scotland. So the book about Scotland has done really, really well. The book about England and Wales has done really well as well, because people are wanting to stay closer to home, and people seem to really love it. So that's wonderful. And what's going on in my world at the moment? I'm just about to start writing Take the Slow Road, Spain and Portugal, which I've been waiting to do since, I think, August 2020. I was supposed to start it. Once I'd finished France, I was supposed to go straight on to Spain. But obviously, things being what they were, we couldn't travel, we couldn't go anywhere. So like all sort of TV personalities have been walking Cornwall's coast path during lockdowns, I wrote a book about getting off the beaten track in England and Wales. So it was kind of like a follow-on to Take the Slow Road, but just trying to get into places where that weren't so busy. Because, I live in Cornwall, as you know, and it was really rammed, and all campsites were busy, the whole place was busy, and I think a lot of Britain's hotspots were quite oversubscribed. So I went and tried to find places that were quiet, and and tried to see things in a sort of different point of view, or from a different point of view. I went up to the Ordnance Survey's fourth least popular map, which is great. So
and where was that?
That was on the Solway Firth. So it's actually in the Lake District, but it's actually a section of the Solway Firth that is the end of Hadrian's Wall, and it's like one of the worst selling OS maps, but it's a really, really beautiful place. So I went up there and had a little adventure up there and sort of did stuff like that, which was great. I mean, we had such a great time. I went to the Forest of Bowland, which is a little piece of land that's kind of between the Lake District and the North York Moors, and it sort of gets overlooked. So I went there. I went into the least popular side of the lakes. I went into West Wales, and just kind of avoided places like Snowdon and avoided places like the main, Windermere, and I just had a really great year. So that's coming out next year.
Amazing. And what's it called?
That's called Take the Slow Road. Sorry, not Take the Slow Road. Off the Beaten Track.
Yeah.
So it's carrying on from the Take the Slow Road series, but just a little bit sort of different, same sort of stuff. Travel writing. I had a great time, actually. We cycled across Dartmoor and did the coast to coast, which was wonderful. And just lots of adventures.
And while you're away, we've done a whole podcast episode on wild camping, and some of the misconceptions about what that means and what it is. So were you on campsites, or where were you stopping in the campervan?
We wild camped on Dartmoor, but that was in a tent, because we basically left the van in Barnstable, got the train down to Plymouth, and then cycled back, which was just brilliant. I mean, it's an off-road cycle route. We were only on roads for about 2 miles out of it. And then we camped on an area of Dartmoor where you can actually wild camp, so you have permission. We wild camped and occasionally in places where it's tolerated, but in England and Wales, it's actually not legal to wild camp. So we would stay a lot on campsites. I mean, I don't want to recommend somewhere that people can't stay at. So there's no point in me saying, go into the field round the back of Sainsbury's and park up there, because it's not legal, and I can't. It's pointless. And I want to recommend campsites that are really good for people. So I stayed on a lot of caravan club sites, a lot of camping and caravan sites, and a lot of indie sites. And just tried to find really great places to stay. And there are some really great places to stay. So,
and are these places all in the book? I assume they are they?
Yeah, everywhere I stayed goes in the book, unless I thought it was terrible, in which case I wouldn't put it in the book, but generally they're great.
Brilliant. Well, that's going to be a really good resource and a great alternative to the current sources of information that are out there. So what else have you been up to? When are you off to Spain and Portugal?
I'm going to Spain on the 1st of March. So leaving from Portsmouth to Santander, and then hopefully driving through the the Pyrenees on the Spanish side. Hopefully go snowboarding. So, to show that you can go snowboarding and have a reasonably cheap snowboarding holiday in a van if you've got the right van, which is great. And, our van has been winterized. We've got all the right kit and stuff. So hopefully we'll be all right.
And what van have you got at the moment? Right,
so I've got a Fiat Ducato that was converted by my friend Richard Hales, who runs Rails Conversions. He's done a great job of it to my spec. So it suits me really well. It's got a little area where I can sit and type and do my pictures and all that sort of stuff, and then a really nice lounge at the back where my partner and I can hang out. We've done it even things like having the ducting going into the bathroom is really close to the boiler so that it's hot, so that actually we can dry our stuff really easily. Yeah. So there's all kinds of things like that we've tried to think about. We've got chains, we've got winter tyres, so we're quite well prepared. Yeah. And I'm really, really looking forward to it because it just seems like, I guess we've been sort of, everybody must be feeling the same.
Caged.
Yeah, we've been caged.
So how long are you away for?
I'll be away for 5 weeks to start with, and then coming back for a few weeks and then going off again. So I had to get a work visa actually to go because of Brexit. Yeah. Which means that you can only do 3 months at a time, then you have to come back for 3 months. And actually, if I'd have done that, I'd have missed a lot of the summer. So I had to work hard to get visas. Got work visas, which was great, but a lot of trouble. But I mean, it's anyone who's going on a trip for 3 months is probably, that's probably enough, isn't it? So hopefully people will be able to do what I've done within that time.
And when is this book out then? The Spain-Portugal, Take Slowly?
So this one will come out in May next year. Okay. So it's a really, really short turnaround. Normally they take a year to do, but because of lockdowns, and I was supposed to go straight after Christmas and drive through France, but obviously there were problems in France. So I had to cancel that trip. So I'm just making it into a really intense period of work, and then I'll get it done and out the door by December. And then that's the sort of minimum turnaround time they can get it into the shops in May.
And published, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a lot of work goes into it after I
finish. And you've got a new book coming out this May, 2022, is that right? Tell us a bit about that.
So the one that's coming out in 22 is Off the Beaten Track. So that's the one I did last year. So I finished that in December, and that then comes out in a few months' time. Okay. But it takes sort of 6 months for them to put it together, design it, and they do all their magic to make it look wonderful.
And I can't believe it was 12 years ago that you were on BBC One. Was it BBC One with your series?
Not BBC Two.
BBC Two. Well, nearly. Well, the best are on two.
BBC still counts.
It's still the Beeb. It's still Auntie. Yeah. And that was 12 years ago.
So it was 12 years ago we shot it, and it actually February 2011. So it was 11 years that it was broadcast. Right. Okay. Yeah, I know. It's mad. But it was I get asked all the time whether or not I'm doing another series.
Are you? Yeah, I want to ask.
No, I'm not. And it's not.
Why not?
Well, I would if they asked me. I'd go and do it tomorrow. Because why wouldn't you want to go around the country in a camper van, for 5 weeks being filmed? It's wonderful.
Well, if anyone's listening from the Bee when you're into producing a show like this, then Martin's your man. Honestly, it was a fantastic series.
Oh, thank you.
We loved it. We all watched it as a family, and it really inspired us. So yeah, go for it. Keep nagging the BBC, I'd say.
Well, I'll try. It seems like it seems that now that campervan's a flavour of the month, it might well have been a little bit ahead of its time, and actually that's why it didn't sort of. It got watched well, but I think that they just decided they didn't like the ideas for the second series or whatever, and decided to drop it. So, never mind. I loved doing it. It was a great thing to do. It's brought me so many friends and brought me to here now.
And have you still got that campervan, the Bay?
No, the Bay, I'm afraid, went to a better home a few years later, because I moved to Bude in Cornwall to a house that's not very far from the sea, and you almost saw it kind of sinking.
Dissolving.
Dissolving is exactly the right word. Kind of sinking on its suspension. When the wind was blowing in a certain direction, it'd be like, okay, so it went to be saved, basically.
Right, good.
And also I spend a lot more time in vans these days, and actually a 1976, was it 76? No, 1979 Bay isn't quite right to take into the mountains or to drive around Europe in, because it's a bit of an effort.
No, you want something that can bring you back.
Yeah, and get you there as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a benefit.
Yeah, they're lovely things. They're such great vans, and they've got so much character, and I know why people love them. But when it comes down to it, I need a loo. shower's nice every so often, and a heater.
Yeah. And you don't necessarily want to be on first name terms with the recovery driver, do you?
Yeah, well, I think it's that old they probably wouldn't insure it anymore. So
maybe not. So you're off to Europe then in March,
Yep.
And the book is going to be no doubt keep you busy this year. What else is happening in the Dorey world?
Well, I've just what am I doing? I'm just basically trying to concentrate on this book this year. I've just finished doing some updates to the Campervan Bible, which you'll know is my sort of handbook to campervan life. So I've just finished some of that. I'm going to do some more, and every time I sort of think I'm done, I turn around and somebody says, "Oh, do you know about this?" And there's so many updates happening all the time, and so much to keep on top of in terms of, since it came out in 2016, the way that we use fridges. Compressor fridges have almost taken over from absorption fridges. So we have to sort of allow for that because they're different sizes, all that kind of stuff, and so that has to be taken.
So the Campervan Bible, for those listeners that don't know, is a beautiful hardback book, kind of nearly A4 size, isn't it? It's a big book. Yeah, slightly smaller, beautifully illustrated. It's a thick book. It looks amazing on the coffee table or by the bed, and it's a really, really good read. I congratulate you on it. It's fantastic. We love it. We love reading it. And ours is very, very dog-eared on the corners.
It's very kind of you to say.
So, no, genuinely. But are you doing like a glove box version of it? Is that right?
Yes, that's right, actually. Yeah, so the original Campervan Bible, I'm doing this for anybody who's listening and not watching. I'm holding my hands out to say it was a really thick book, really great to use as levelling, if you find yourself on a campsite.
Propping the table up.
Yeah. So yes, actually that's something. The glove box edition of that is a little paperback version that's just a lot of the kind of lists taken out, but lots of new stuff. So it's kind of like what do you need to take? When do you need to think about things like that?
And you were telling me earlier you've reprioritised the book. Is that right? Is it reordered a little bit?
Yeah, I've tried to. I think things have changed since I wrote it originally, and I think we now have to think more about the environment and think about what we're doing and the impact we have. So actually, I've reordered it a little bit so that the sort of eco stuff has got more weight, because and the stuff that you can do to be a responsible camper. The idea that maybe if you go to Scotland to go around the NC 500, you don't go to Waitrose in your hometown and take your food with you and eat just that as you go around Scotland. It would be better for everybody if you were able to eat local and eat, within the community in which you travel, because that means that you'll be buying local food, supporting local people, supporting local produce, local agriculture, and actually that's good for the environment, believe it or not. So you can eat your way to a better environment rather than just eating packet stuff that's flown thousands of miles. So there's those kind of things that I think are really important going forwards for us.
And so you position yourself as an environmentalist, and I introduced you for this podcast as an environmentalist. So what are you kind of doing that gives you that title, if you like?
Yeah, sure. I don't know whether you know. I was, until a couple of weeks ago, the CEO of an environmental charity that I set up. So I think it was about 2006. I went walking on a beach and found it knee deep in plastic bottles, and decided I would do something. Didn't know what I was going to do, and I started an online campaign about people picking up litter, which is the 2-minute beach clean. Try and encourage people to just spend 2 minutes picking up litter. It applies as much to to campers and motorhomers as it does to anybody. The idea being that you go somewhere and you just leave it nicer than it was. So if you're talking about turning up wild camping or whatever, if ever I go anywhere, I'll turn up and I'll have a look around. If there's litter, I'll pick it up. That's it. So that thought started on social media, and then it's become a kind of it's just got massive, and it became a charity 2-3 years ago, and it now employs 10 people.
Wow.
And I've stepped down as the CEO. So my environmental credentials are kind of okay. I've done some books about plastic and about I've written some kids' books about fighting plastic and fighting climate change as well. So it sort of has led me down another little path, which I'm really happy to be able to bring back to this industry, because I think we've got work to do. We're not as bad as other industries, but actually, there's lots that we can do that's really positive. And actually, that we shouldn't feel bad about driving in a diesel van, because diesels are good these days. They're okay. It's better than flying. But there are things that we can do along the way. eat local, just don't use single-use plastics, don't chuck your stuff away, stop using wet wipes, all that kind of stuff that has a positive effect.
Common sense stuff. And so what's the name of the charity? Where can people find out a bit more about that?
Yeah, it's called the 2 Minute Foundation. There's a website, and it's 2minute.org, I think it is. It's based in Bude in Cornwall, and they're doing great stuff. They're doing lots of education as well. They run a beach school in Bude where kids come along and they take them on walks on the beach and teach them why they need to pick up plastic and why it's important, and show them the sort of devastating consequences of not picking up plastic. And then they do rock pool rambles and stuff. They do something which is amazing. They put a UV light on rock pools in the dark, and the rock pools sort of ping with colour, because if you do night dives, that's I don't know why it is, but just the anemones and all the stuff in rock pools for some reason just look amazing in the dark with a UV light. So yeah, so they do. So
is there a plan to get this into a national curriculum? Or is it just Cornwall based?
No, it's UK based. We're trying to open another beach school somewhere else, and I think they'll take it on. They're opening an academy so that people can come along and learn, It's difficult to explain, but the academy, the idea of it is that people can come along and learn how to do a beach clean and learn how to do risk assessments for a beach clean, but also they can learn to become a medic for marine life. So seals that get stranded, they can learn from the BDMLR, which is the British Divers Marine Life Rescue Association, something like that. And they train people as medics. So actually, they can come to us, and we kind of talk to lots of different agencies about delivering their training for them. So the Marine Conservation Society will deliver training to the people that come to us. So it's kind of like bringing in lots of different things all under one umbrella. So if by the time you've done all these little courses, you would be the sort of ultimate eco beach goer. That's the idea. So it's just about education and just trying to make people
love it. So if people are heading off to the coast in their campervan, bit of wild camping, then this kind of knowledge is paramount, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And why not? When you're at the beach, go and do a beach clean, or even when you're in a field somewhere, or in Scotland or Ireland, and just leave it nicer and be responsible, because it's we have to do it, and it does matter.
Yeah, it does. You're absolutely right. Well, it's fascinating. Thank you very much for your time today, taking time out of a busy show. People can find out more about they can buy your books from our shop, thatleisureshop.com.
Yay.
Go and get them. We sell certainly all your UK books we sell, and I think we're planning to stock the European ones. We'll definitely be stocking the new one next year. Now travel restrictions are lifting. I think we've got the France one on order. And where can people find out more about you? You've got your own website as well, haven't you?
Yeah, they can. I mean, if they want to read a little bit about me, there's martindorey.com. They can have a look at that. I sell my books on that, but don't buy them from me, buy them from you. But there's a little bit about my life on there and kind of just what I do. So and they can get in contact with me through there as well.
Well, we'll follow your next escapade into Spain and Portugal with great interest, and look forward to the new book next year.
Well, thanks very much. And actually, if anybody does want to follow my escapades in Spain and Portugal, I will be posting pictures to Instagram, and I'm on at Martin Dorey on Instagram. So follow me, check it out, and come along with me on my adventures.
We'll be there. Brilliant. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Safe travels.